Hey everyone, it's Dan, and this video we're going to review the UB Pro case for Palm made by Supcase. This is one of two cases that's been made by Supcase, the UB Pro and the UB Style, which I reviewed in another video. The video I made previously for this particular case was really just an unboxing, kind of went through the details of it, but I've had this case for a while now, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on how I felt about it. So first off, let's get to the case here. It is a rugged style case. Oh, well, I'll show you this one here first because it's got more interesting things to see. So it's a two-piece case, as you can see. It's a little plastic cage with a built-in screen protector there. We'll get to that in a second. But this is the outside case. It's made of a rubber material, pretty much enclosed. You can see there's the button for the power and multifunction button there, and cut out up top for the microphone, cut out on the bottom for the microphone, little hatch for the USB-C port. Call out here that it is a mil-spec as far as drop protection goes, which means that it's 6.6 feet, 2 meters. Although, we'll get to they've proven themselves to be a little bit more capable than that. But the entire case is rubber, save for the back. This plate back here is plastic. Got these little nubs with these little dog bone details here, but the plastic in conjunction with the rubber make for a very nice protective layer for the glass back of the Palm, which I really like. And I'll show you the details on the other side. So just nice ridged sides for where you hold the case. Little branding call out here on the side, very subtle, but all in all pretty beefy. And you could see compared to the regular Palm, of course, it's going to add some height to it, add some thickness to it. It's a rugged case. I mean, what do you expect? That's just par for the course for this kind of thing. Now, for the other part, the plastic cage, it's, I believe, the only case for the Palm that features a built-in screen protector. It's just plastic. You can see it's got cutouts for the speaker, the camera, and the proximity sensor up top. And the inside edges, just pretty plain, just clips to hold, and then some detailing here on the side to help with impact protection. But installation is pretty standard. I'm gonna give this just a quick wipe down, which you kind of have to do if you're fussy about lint like I am. That's one of these things about these cases with these screen protectors, that you want to make sure that there's as little lint as possible. And I like to put these in power side, power button first, like that, snap it in, and there you go. Well, did a decent job with the lint. But you can see there are the cutouts. There are the cutouts again, proximity sensor, speaker, and camera. They line up pretty nicely. Did a pretty good job with with getting that lined up. And from there, this case is actually notched here on the bottom, and because of the hatch. So I like to do top side first. And this lip, it's actually a lip. You can see that groove, excuse me, that the rubber case locks into. Let's just give it a nice smooth over, make sure that the rubber has got into that channel on the outside. Make sure that our hatch is seated for the USB-C. And there it is. See the lines up pretty well. Top side there with the microphone, bottom side there with the microphone and the hatch for the USB-C, and that's that. And you can see, even though it does have the screen protector, it does not really interfere with screen protection. You can't even tell it's there. I mean, it just goes through very, very normally. Can't even tell that it's that there's a screen protector on it. So that's that with this. I really like this case. Number one, the fact that the Palm is already IP68 rated for water and dust resistance. So now when you stick it in this bad boy, you're also adding the capability of mil-spec drop protection, which is officially 6.6 feet. But as I mentioned in the earlier video, Supcase actually took part in a challenge put on by CNET called Best Case Scenario, and 6 case manufacturers were put iPhone 10s inside their best cases, and Supcase was one of those companies, and they used the UB Pro, very similar to this with an iPhone 10, not just any iPhone 10, but the CEO's iPhone 10. CEO for Supcase volunteered his own personal iPhone 10 to take part in the case, and so they dropped it from varying heights, I think like 6 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, all the way up to 20 feet. I think they did 2 drops from 20 feet, and 3 of the 6 brands made it up to the 20-foot mark. They dropped the Supcase twice from 20 feet. I think like one was an edge drop and one was a face drop. No problems whatsoever. So it did survive up to a 20-foot drop in addition to all the drops previous to that. So, you know, officially, again, it's rated to 6.6 feet, but they tested it out to up to 20 feet. And they also announced very recently on Twitter that they're going to take part in the best case scenario for CNET 2019, which is coming up next week over at CES. So they're going to do their thing next week, and I have every confidence that they're going to come out on top. Like I said, three case manufacturers made it all the way up to the 20-foot mark, but of the 3, the UB Pro case is like half the cost of those other 2 case manufacturers, which, you know, biggest bang for the buck. I've always said this about the Supcase cases, and again, you will not find a better value. I think these are now $22 on Amazon, but really great case. So things I like about the case. Number one, the ruggedness about it. I do like that it has a screen protector. So if you're going to be in an environment where you want that extra bit of protection, but you don't want to use a glass protector or anything like that, this is kind of a nice halfway thing where you could ruggedize your Palm and very nicely supplement the water and dust resistance with this rugged case. Another thing I like about it, it's very nice to hold. The side ridges actually do make a difference when you're holding it, and it's, I don't know, it just makes it a lot more fidgetable. I know that's not a thing anymore, but it's actually pretty nice to hold. It gives you that sense of security that, you know, when you're in life mode, you know, you're connected without being distracted, and now you don't have to be distracted over the fact that you might snap your phone in half because because it's not in a rugged case. So this is a really nice thing to have. Like the price, obviously, biggest bang for the buck. Supcase is awesome when it comes to having the best value for their cases, and at $22, I believe, this is still less expensive than the several cases that are out for the Palm, and yet offers the most protection for it. Things I'm not too hot about. So number one, this, again, the screen protector. It's kind of a mixed blessing. And if you've owned those old school cases from OtterBox, you probably know where I'm going with this. But yes, it's nice that you get the screen protection, and it works very well. There's no doubt that this retains its functionality even with the screen protector on. The only thing is, I've noticed that lint and dirt can get under the screen because of the openings here. I mean, there's no way around it. You got to have the openings for those functions up top. But after repeated use, I did find some lint to get under the screen, and that was an annoyance. So that was, I don't know, it's not a deal breaker, but it is something to be aware about, that lint can and will get under here if you use this for a while. So, you know, take it out, wipe it down, put it back in. Not really a big deal. Another thing is in regards to the USB-C port. This, as you can see, there's no ridge or anything. It's just a straight flap. And this flap that covers the USB-C port is held in simply by virtue of the molding of the rubber. And so the downside to that is that if you charge this phone in this case for an extended period of time, the charger will bend back the flap. And then when you take it out after a while, it actually doesn't shut all the way. You kind of have to shove it in there. And then after a while, the molding, the memory effect of the molding will make it lay up against here. But there's no like bumps here on the side that hold it in with the plastic surround. I think like some of the OtterBox cases they used to have, I think they had like a little bumps on the side where you push it in and actually hold it in place with friction. But that's not really the case here. A little bit of friction, but not too much. So that's something to be aware of. I don't know what the long-term effects of having this thing always open like that when you charge it overnight, if you charge your phones overnight, but that's something to consider in the long run. And another thing, would it be nice to have, I wish that this had some lanyard holes on the side, similar to the Tech 21 case. That way, if you wanted to wear this around your neck, or if you wanted to place a lanyard on here and then place the other side of the lanyard on your wrist or your belt loop or on your backpack, that way if it falls out of your hands, it's not going to go crashing to the ground. Not that it isn't protected, but let's say you're in an area where if you drop the phone like in the woods or in grassy area, it's going to make it very hard to retrieve, because if you're in the tall grass or whatever, you don't want to go on a search party to look for your little palm because it's inside a field of grass. So it may be hackable to punch a couple of holes here on the side and then make a lanyard loop. So for those of you that are more adventurous, that might be an option that you might want to think about. Another thing, and I gotta call this out, sorry Supcase, but you know, you did put it out there. In the initial marketing for this case, they did say that it came with a holster case, belt clip holster case, that you similar, and like every other larger version of this case, I believe, does come with that holster. It would be nice, would have been nice to have that option to be able to clip this on your belt or clip it on your backpack or wherever you want to clip it, and then just pop it out of the clip and use it when you want to take a photo or anything like that. But apparently at this point, Supcase has no plans to create the belt clip holster for this unit. So it's kind of sad. I wish they would have had it. Would have put this case over the top, but I understand. I mean, this phone is way smaller than all the other typical phones that they would make cases for. So kind of a slight knock, but I ain't mad. But overall, I'm really happy with this case. I do use this a lot when I go to the park with the kids. Basically just this in a little card case holder for my ID and debit card, and then I'm off with the kids. And again, it gives that nice sense of security knowing that I've got the case in something that's I've got the palm in a case that's going to protect it very well from drops and impact. So if you're on the fence about getting it, get it. Treat yourself. $22 on Amazon, not bad at all. Like I said, it's a great case. Few things that I wish they would have fixed, that they would have had, but not deal breakers in the slightest. But it's a great little case. The only thing, again, if you don't mind, popping it out and wiping down the screen every so often because of the lint that gets under, but not a deal breaker. So if you enjoyed this video, like the video. I'd like to hear your comments about it. If you own one of these cases or have any questions about the case, please let me know. Also in the description there is the link for the Facebook Palm user group. We are officially unofficial, but very sincere. If you want to join us, please do join us and share your experiences that you've had with your Palm. Or if you've got any questions about them, they're a wealth of knowledge that are on the Palm user group. They'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have about the Palm. Again, this is Dan. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next video.